Welcome to Cricket World TV. Time for another IPL hotspot with me, John Pennington, in the UK, and Chetan Narula out in Delhi. Hello, Chetan.
Hello, John, and welcome once again to viewers on Hotspot.
And we're just about there or thereabouts in terms of halfway through the tournament, Chetan. Just give us a little bit of an overview of how you see things.
Well, any T20 tournament, you would expect quite a few, close finishes. And in an IPL season, you would expect a pattern to emerge. You would have picked out which of the teams are looking good at this moment, and you know which teams are going to be fighting for the fourth, fifth, sixth position. And the pattern is set. The order is becoming quite clear, and with just a handful of matches remaining for each team, because as they look out to close their league or get into the business end of the tournament, you would expect them to, not really too many surprises in the coming weeks, except maybe a few thrillers here and there.
Yeah, we've had a few thrillers already, so in the last sort of 7 days or so. I mean, as most of our viewers hopefully are aware, Chet and I do an in-depth podcast every Sunday. So what we're going to do is take a look at some of the games that have awarded the games that have happened since then. Let's start off with the game on Monday, Chet. Sunrisers beating Kings 11 by 20 runs. A pretty comprehensive win against the Kings 11 side that I know you've written about as well. Really sort of struggling, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. They seem, they're chopping and changing their side, and if you compare it to where they were last season, it was, Glenn Maxwell firing away in the initial part of the UAE, and then when they came back, even when Glenn Maxwell wasn't firing, you had the likes of Virendra Sehwag, Wriddhiman Saha, the youngsters in the batting lineup, George Bailey, David Miller, all of them were chipping in. Glenn Maxwell getting those odd starts. This year, Glenn Maxwell hasn't got off to his what he does really do, and that's meant a lack of momentum. What's compounded their problems is that despite the fact that they've got Murli Vijay as the other opener along with Virendra Sehwag to provide a stable opening partnership, it hasn't worked out. Virendra Sehwag was dropped in the last game. David Miller has sat out. Glenn Maxwell has been dropped for 2 games now. George Bailey missed a game because of injury. They brought in Sean Marsh as an opener. So he came out of nowhere, got them to that super over win. Then he came up the order in place of Sehwag. So a bit of surprise, a bit of mix and match policy, bit of change in plans. A lot of things going wrong. Mitchell Johnson isn't taking any wickets. You look at Sandeep Sharma and Anupreet Singh for inspiration. I'm playing Fantasy League and on the IPL website, and I'm not picking Mitchell Johnson. I'm picking those 2 youngsters. And they are taking more points than him. It just goes to show that Plan A is not working, which is hit the ball out of the park. Plan B is not working, which is other batsmen do the same and bowlers take wickets. And now they're searching for Plan C and D, which is also, I'm not sure, really has worked out for them. As for that particular match, I thought while the Sunrisers did well enough to win it, there are some, even they are searching for different plans. They are searching for different combinations for good bowling attack. They have a good fielding side. They're being led very well by David Warner and Tom Moody as the coach. But their batting is too top heavy. They do not have any middle order batsmen to fall back on, and that's just very, very glaring. And despite that, I don't think that Sunrisers Hyderabad are good enough at the moment, especially because the Royal Challengers Bangalore have a new life about them with the return of Mitchell Starc. So don't really think that the Sunrisers Hyderabad will be good enough to make last 4 this year.
Yeah, I think I'd go along with that, Chetan, but I suppose what I would say is if they are going to make the Final 4, this is obviously the sort of game that they absolutely have to win, and they've then got to go and take points off Bangalore, Chennai, Kolkata, and that's going to be very, very difficult.
Absolutely. Like I said, you see 2 sides go head to head. You're taking points off the weaker ones, but you have to go up against the stronger teams. But now, if we look at the teams or the sort of matches that are left for the I mean, anybody will take points of Kings 11 Punjab or Mumbai Indians at this point of time. There'll be very few surprises. Yes, the Mumbai Indians have won Kings 11. Both have won matches in the last 1 week, but mostly they will lose. And if you look at the matches that are remaining for Sunrisers Hyderabad, they have Chennai Super Kings, they have Kolkata Knight Riders, Rajasthan Royals, Delhi Daredevils, Kings 11 Punjab, and the RCB. So and then Mumbai Indians after that. So basically, you're looking at three matches against teams that are, or two matches teams below them. Delhi Daredevils, I would say, are on an equal pegging at the moment. But you also have matches against RCB, KKR, and Chennai Super Kings, which is, you know, you have to take points off. But when you square off against those teams, they are really strong on paper, and especially with that middle order lacking. Yeah, I don't see Sunrisers Hyderabad. I mean, they can improve. They need to find that solution. But do they have that solution? Can they give Moses Enriquez and Naman Oja a longer run in their middle order? So it's going to depend on the form of those two batsmen if they can really back David Warner and Shikhar Dhawan. Also, I'm not sure Shikhar Dhawan is playing a full game. Shikhar Dhawan at the moment is he's playing a holding role. David Warner is the one who goes ballistic, and Shikhar Dhawan tries to play it through. That's not what Shikhar Dhawan does. Both of them are identical openers. Both of them are ballistic batsmen. It's the sort of role you would want to give to somebody like KL Rahul. Make him open, make him hold one end, and then either Warner or Dhawan can open or come in at number three. So you don't have two similar batsmen batting, because if Warner gets a start and then he gets out, and Dhawan, who's also got a slow start, he also gets out, then Sunrisers Hyderabad go nowhere. So it's kind of hampering them. Uh, so they really need to figure out what they need to be doing.
Yeah, work to do for them. Let's move on to obviously the game of this week, because we've only had two and a half, if you like. Chennai Super Kings holding on to beat Kolkata Knight Riders by 2 runs, a low-scoring game on a slow pitch. It was, in a way, to me, very Chennai, wasn't it? They've done it already once this year, defending a very reasonably low total against Delhi to win by 1 run, winning this one by 2 runs, and that's a very good sign for them, isn't it? That they don't get a big total, they're still able to defend.
Well, while it might seem thrilling in the way it ended with like the Delhi game, I think it's very different from how that Delhi game transpired, because in that game wasn't they were really just stuttering and starting and stuttering and starting again and again and again, and they caught over the line because Delhi were absolutely shocking in their performance, in their team selection. Delhi should have won that match, but they could not because they didn't select the right players. With KKR, I thought it was more of a match of two equal teams who are right there or thereabouts. You're just starting to get some momentum going. They're on equal pegging before the tournament started, and towards the middle of the tournament, they're still on equal pegging. Um, Kolkata lost because they did not have somebody with the presence of mind to make sure that they do not get behind the curve. Chennai Super Kings knew that the game only rested on their spinners, and they had two good spinners, two international standard spinners in Ashwin and Jadeja, who do it for them time and again. And I mean, their bowling attack is their strength at the moment, because if you look at it, Dwayne Smith, Brent McCullum, and Suresh Raina, as good as they are looking, they haven't really performed after the first couple of matches. They haven't really gone on blitzkriegs, like we know they can. Last year we saw them time and again. If one failed, two batted through. If two failed, one batted through. 160, 180 were power scores for Chennai Super Kings. This year, they're struggling. They are 90 for 5, 100 for 5 on many occasions, and it's left late to Dhoni or Bravo or Jadeja to pull them through. It's happened for the last 3-4 games. Um, so yeah, at the moment, it's the bowling that's doing wonders for Chennai Super Kings, whether it's spinners or Ashish Nehra, sometimes doing Bravo at the death. So at the moment, they're relying on their bowling more than their batting, and that's the key uh, aspect that Kolkata Knight Riders missed. That they lacked somebody who could really dominate the two spinners. Gautam Gambhir getting dismissed early, that was a big blow for them. Manish Pandey and Robin Uthappa couldn't keep up the momentum they got. So that was a bit of a disappointment. But yeah, I think both of them are equally matched, and I think they are playing today again in Kolkata. So should be a cracker, and it could be a time to return the favor because Eden Gardens, slowish pitch, Kolkata Knight Riders, they might just do the same to Chennai Super Kings once again.
Will we maybe look ahead to that game and maybe offer a prediction, Chet? And just yesterday we saw Royal Challengers Bangalore rack up 200 for 7, but then unfortunately the game was washed out. Rajasthan Royals. I would think at that point wouldn't be, I'm not too disappointed if you'd said then take a point. They might have taken it because once they got to Duck with Lewis, some of the totals they would have had to chase looked a bit scary. The main talking point I think to come out of that game, Chet, is performance of young Sarfaraz Khan, who looks like an exciting talent.
Well, yes, that's what the IPL does. I mean, it just throws the youngsters, unknown youngsters, to the deep end. You're playing against bowlers of international standards, people like Tim Southee and Shane Watson. Yes, the spinners are relatively still IPL standard. You're playing against and you're playing with. I mean, you had AB de Villiers, Dinesh Karthik. They had all got Chris Gayle, Virat Kohli. They all got out, and this young bloke comes along and smacks those runs quickly. Um, so that's what the IPL has done. It has given that confidence. It has given that change in attitude to the Indian players that they come to the international side. They don't they don't feel that sort of a pressure, and that's why India over the last few years has been such an exceptional limited over side. Their longer format performance will is something to be really talked about and discussed, and where they're going wrong. As far as the limited overs is concerned, I think India are really one of the top-notch sides in world cricket, and they proved that in the World Cup again and in the T20 World Cup last year. So and I think IPL has been one of the key factors in doing that because they don't think that any target is beyond them, or they have that confidence, they have that attitude that yes, we can achieve this. We've got this. That's the attitude the IPL has given to Indian players, whether young or whether old or experienced, coming onto the international scene. Um, Talking about the game, though, I think Royal Challengers Bangalore will be very happy. I think they are the team of the week for me. They've won two matches. They've got a point without pulling 20 overs. I mean, you can't really ask for more. It's put them in a spot where they belong. They have a good balance this year. I think they are a top four side. They are batting well. They're bowling well ever since Mitchell Stark has come back. So I think they've got the decent balance to make it to the top four. Whether they are good enough to challenge the rest of the sides, I'm not sure. Whether they're good enough to challenge Kolkata Knight Riders or Chennai Super Kings, whether they can gain enough momentum going into the business end of the tournament to challenge those two sides, I don't know. I think they're equal right now because Rajasthan Royals have lost that momentum, and that's where Rajasthan Royals have been hurt a lot. I mean, if you look at the points table, um, I mean, it's the second washout that the Rajasthan Royals have encountered. So they've got 2 points, which is good in a way because you want to get out of rut and you want some points, and they were not getting those points. So they've got the points in that sense, but you would really want to play to win and get more points rather than just scrape off. But the problem now is that they have played 9 matches and they've got 12 points. Um, you look at Sunrisers Hyderabad, who are or Delhi Daredevils, who are the also rans this year, who might are there and who might be the teams that are there and thereabouts. So they have 6 points, but they have 2 games in hand. Both these teams win their matches, and suddenly they're looking at 10 points, and that's just a gap of 2 points. And Rajasthan Royals not in the best of form, and you get a decent run in, you can make up those 2 points. So it could just be a very, very mad dash for the fourth place finish with Rajasthan Royals because of their rain and because of the loss in momentum being pushed down and getting into a scrap for that fourth position.
Yes, it's been an interesting run for them. 5 wins, 2 losses, and then 2 no results. Your comment there that Bangalore looking a lot better and looking like you're sort of saying they should be in the top 4. The music to the ears. I know some of our colleagues who went for them to win the tournament weren't too happy with the way they started, but now Mitchell Stark's come back. They've got the batting order sorted. They're looking a lot better. And we've touched on what we've got coming up, Chetan. Today it's Kolkata Chennai, the rematch, if you like, a chance for Kolkata to in revenge, if you like, or sort of going to get back at Chennai for beating them? Which way do you see that going, and what are the real key factors?
Well, the key factors again, spinners will come into play. The sort of pitch that Eden Gardens produced. Will they? It's a dual-edged sword. Will they have a slow pitch because then you have Ashwin and Jadeja? But from what I'm hearing, Ashwin might not be playing today, so we might find a change in the CSK playing 11. So will they get another spinner or another pacer? Because of that factor, maybe the pitch curators might have rolled out a slower pitch, but then it's just 2 days ago, so you don't really know. And the strength for Kolkata Knight Riders is their spin attack. But then again, Sunil Narayan is not supposed to bowl his off spinner, which is really a big grey area for me. I mean, how does an umpire tell whether it's going to be an off spinner or it's going to be or leg spinner or whatever you call the knuckle ball? I mean, what if he bowls an off spinner and it doesn't turn? Well, it just goes straight through. How do you know he's bowling off spinner or not bowling off spinner? I mean, it's a ridiculous grey area. Uh, uh, to my limited knowledge, maybe the umpires can tell. I mean, I can't. I certainly can't tell. I mean, what if he bowls an off spinner and doesn't turn because he's a mystery spinner and it's just. And what? Who watches him? The leg umpire watches him, or the front end umpire watches him. Who watches him, and who watches the no ball, and who watches the stumpings and all? I mean, it's really berserk. If he's not bowling correctly, he's out. If he's bowling correctly, then he's bowling. I mean, why can't it be just black and white? And now I've just read on Twitter before the hotspot started that the ICC have said that the same thing will also apply in international matches. So you're saying that international matches also he's not going to bowl the off spinner. It's ridiculous. I mean, why do the laws have to be so complicated? I just don't understand. But again, coming back to the match, it means that uh, KKR will also be wondering whether they want to play Sunil Narayan, whether they want to make this controversy a bigger controversy. And I'm sure if he comes on to bowl for 4 overs, people will be really watching whether he's bowling that off spinner or not. It's really a bit of a mess, but um, I think KKR might just scrape through this one. Home advantage, 60,000 odd fans. Eden Gardens is filled up usually on a KKR match. So yeah, I think should be an interesting game. If Chennai Super Kings can get through it, just show that how strong they are, that they have enough backup to win despite one of their lead bowlers missing, and they have a good bench strength, which they seem to be having. If KKR win, obviously they'll prove that they are on equal pegging and one of the two teams to watch out for this season, like they are.
Yes, to go along with most of that, Chester, with regard to Nareen, I know that there's this idea that at some point bowlers will have some sort of leave on their elbow and basically transgress the 50 degree. It'll cause an alert, and so well, maybe that's the only way to do it. You just spot on. Well, what if an off spinner goes straight on? Does that count or not? It's a very grey area. My understanding with Ashwin is that he'll miss a couple of games, but they may have sort of reassessed that first games and wait and see on that one. Next up, a couple of games tomorrow, Chetan. We've got Delhi taking on Kings 11 Punjab and Mumbai Rajasthan. Are you heading to the Delhi game?
Yes, I will be. I mean, it's the last home game for Delhi Daredevils tomorrow, and I don't know when I'll be attending a cricket game again after that. So, long gap after the IPL. So yes, I will be heading there. Interesting because Kings 11 Punjab play Delhi tomorrow, and then they play Mumbai Indians in Mohali on Sunday. So, two matches that they really need to win, both of them, to get any sort of momentum and get their season back. Otherwise, especially the game on Sunday will be perhaps the decider of who gets the wooden spoon this year if they end up losing to Delhi tomorrow. I'm talking about the Kings 11 Punjab. If they lose to Delhi tomorrow, then Sunday's game is the decider who gets the wooden spoon.
Yes, it does seem like that will be the case. So what about Mumbai Rajasthan? Any thoughts on that one?
Well, it's going to be played in Mumbai, and it's generally that game has turned out to be a high-scoring one, going by the few matches that we've seen there. Rajasthan Royals will be hoping that this game is not washed out and they get onto the field because they really need to get some points on board. Mumbai Indians won their last game, so yeah, they'll be hoping that they can, given that they're just 2 points of both Delhi and Sunrisers Hyderabad, who we think will be the teams to scrap, and just 3 points off Royal Challengers Bangalore and Kolkata Knight Riders, who are in 7 points. 3 points and 2 points. Halfway stage, 7 more matches to go. Yeah, it can really turn easily. So Mumbai Indians still not out of it, but again, they're not looking like a team that could really get back. They have just so many problems. What they need is somebody to really perform amazingly for the next 7 games consistently. Score in 5 of the 7 matches, or take many wickets in 5 of the 7 matches. So that sort of thing. But will it happen? I'm not sure.
Yeah, Chetan, that's yeah. I think we'll sort of wrap things up there. We'll obviously be reviewing these games in our week-ending podcast on Sunday. But for now, thank you very much for your time.
Pleasure, John.
And thank you very much for watching us here on Cricket World TV.